Hey everybody, welcome back to the Ramen Room, here where we like it raw.
That was dumb. No. Yeah, we do like it raw. Yes, we do. How you guys doing today? You doing good? Nice. How are the kids?
It's good to hear.
How's the wife?
It's good. You enjoying the Defenders?
Huh?
Asking them, did they enjoy the Defenders? The Luke Cage Black experience?
Oh, it's about defending the Constitution. No, oh man, we're gonna be talking about the Defenders tonight, guys.
We're gonna get into that. But we're gonna talk about a Gamescom recap. Mm-hmm. Kind of the big news coming out. A little bit, get a take from Sonic Mania from a resident Sonic fan. Sonic fan number one, Hassan Hancock.
Numero uno, man. I beat the game. I don't know. I said it a million times.
Oh, you beat it?
I ain't beat that one, but I beat Sonic Adventure with no VMU. So, you know, there's a lot of dedication with the Sonic franchise over here.
Yeah, it's pro status right there. But where are my manners?
Cut off everything.
This is Randall Williams, and we have...
Yeah, you got me, Hassan, man. You know what it is, man. Hassan Hancock, what's going on? How y'all living? So I'm happy we're here.
Yeah?
Yeah, man. We recorded a little differently today. An awkward day, but it's cool. We're still here for you guys. You guys don't even know that shit. They don't even know it. But yeah, we're going to be talking about a couple things, man. As a matter of fact, before we get started, I do want to tell everybody that next week we're going to bring back our anime segment. I know some of you guys are like, man, where the hell's the anime? Yes, I'm watching Dragon Ball Z Super. Yes, I'm current.
Getting the ramen back in Ramen Room.
Yeah, we got to get that Yeah, like how you said. You know, Knights of Magic is another one I'm watching, but I want to have a whole thing about anime. Not the whole episode, but just talk a little bit more about anime. So, you know, My Hero Academia. You know how it goes, guys. So that'd be next week. But this week, wow. So not a lot has been going on. I mean, stuff that we already knew would happen. We knew Gamescom was coming.
Yeah, I was going to say, that's in the games world, that's kind of the big thing. Cologne, Germany, which, from what I understand, is actually a really good event. Like, because unlike E3, it's open to the public, at least to a larger extent than E3 was even this year. And the tickets are a lot cheaper, actually. So if you get a chance to, if you ever hang around Germany, I guess, or in Europe, you can.
They better be cheap. You gotta get there.
Yeah. Well, I mean, hey, look, if you're like France, that ain't nothing to get to Germany.
I mean, if you're anything like the Pokemon con they had in Chicago, I mean, you know, you can not. You know, get your money's worth.
But yeah, Gamescom.
Class action lawsuit.
Gamescom is kind of weird to me because it occupies this weird like pseudo E3 space, because some years you'll have, you know, the companies having a show and some years they skip it. Yep. Like Microsoft, they've had press conferences there before, but this year they didn't really have one. Sony's had things there before, but it's kind of a weird touch and go situation. But like I said, it's open to the public, hands on, but we did have some information coming out of Gamescom.
Yes, we did. I mean, we did. For those who don't know, I mean, like you said, Gamescom is in Germany. It's in Cologne. Next month also is going to be the Tokyo Game Show. That's one of the Sony's bigger.
Yeah, it's a shame. Like, just even as an aside, like Tokyo Game Show has really shrunk in the recent years. But I remember that was like another.
I mean, how many Japanese developers do we have out there?
Yeah, I mean, you're right. That's. I mean, it doesn't help. Nintendo doesn't do it anymore. You know, you said Sony's.
Yeah, they over that shit. They're like, yeah, man, no.
So we'll just film a video and send it to you.
Yeah, I mean, you know, it's Nintendo fans is like, we'll take the video.
We'll take the puppets, man.
I mean, with Gamescom, no. I mean, this time Xbox did open up the pre-orders.
Yeah, that's probably, I think, to me, probably their biggest is the Xbox One X pre-orders and the Scorpio Edition information coming out.
Yep.
Because everything, at least from what I understand, I mean, just kind of followed the recap of it. It was mostly the same trailers from E3. Nothing earth-shattering really came out.
No.
You know, nothing crazy.
No, they have videos for Absolver, which is the fighting game RPG type.
Oh yeah, that's correct.
So they had like a 30-minute trailer for that, which is cool.
Yeah.
The of course the special edition Xbox One X with the I mean they got the Minecraft one, I think.
Yeah, that's Xbox One S.
Yeah, it's the S.
Yeah.
Then they have the special edition pre-order.
Yeah, the Project Scorpio.
Yeah.
Scorpio. I think it's just Scorpio, but I mean, people like the name, I guess, after a while, so why not trade in on that?
Yeah,
I mean,
you got the green lettering, which kind of takes it back to like the the old color scheme,
right?
Black and green.
Yeah, they were really going for that original. Which I mean, I can appreciate if I was getting an Xbox One X right off the bat. I mean, that's a pretty dope way to do it. But yeah, I mean, people have been waiting on the pre-order since they announced it at E3 and they announced the price. The reception was mostly fine. I mean, there were some people who scratched their heads a little bit, myself amongst them. But I mean, overall, people liked it. And they just couldn't wait to plop the money down. So now that it was open, I haven't checked recently, but I know Amazon went pretty quick. I think Best Buy had a couple after that initial first day. But I mean, from what the reports are, the pre-order sales are doing really well. Now I haven't seen specific numbers, so that could mean anything. You know, the companies will spend any way they want, but.
Yeah, it was really well. It was amazing.
Well, there could be something really specific, like it's the highest
5 to sell.
It's the highest pre-ordered Xbox console in the month of August, and a year that ends in a 7. You're like, hey, what does that even mean?
Yeah, nobody knows what that means. I mean, but shout out to Microsoft, man. Yeah. Hopefully everything works out for them.
Yeah, I mean, they're supposed to be updating a lot of the games with 4K before it comes out. So once you get it, pop those things in, you're ready to go. Assassin's Creed, you'll have some flagship titles ready to go that looking pretty. So like I said,
and then they got some titles that's already out that's going to get that upgraded treatment for 4K. Once the system drops, so it's like cool.
Yeah,
I mean, I've got some of the titles. I mean, you may want to look that up. On your own time. I don't know. I mean, because I was thinking about getting an Xbox One X during tax season.
Yeah.
I was thinking about doing that. We'll see. Maybe not. Depends if my wife want me to. Spend that much. We gotta buy a TV. We gotta buy a 4K TV first. So we'll figure that out.
That's where it really gets kind of like dicey as far as because for most people don't have a 4K, so it's part of the upgrade. You have to.
I like my current TV. I like that shit. What's wrong with my TV? Yeah. It'd be one thing if I had like a floor monitor. I'd be like, I'm gonna make that jump. But no, I mean, you got iPhone 8 coming out, X, whatever. I want that. I don't know if I want a 4K TV right now. We'll see by Christmas though.
Right. And the Friday. Good thing about TV technology is it does tend to, deep, even if it's not deep discounts, it does seem to drive down pretty well.
Yeah, those are the first ones to drop
quickly. So yeah, I mean, it won't take too long before we see it in a more affordable range. Still maybe kind of pricey, but more affordable for more people.
Yeah, and a decent one too. I don't want no daggone 4K TV that just says 4K, but really.
Right. That's where you get messed up, man. You buy you think you're going to buy a fancy, it's just like a Westinghouse or some kind of.
Yeah, get you a Vizio like, and there's nothing wrong with
Vox.
There's nothing wrong with those TVs. Trust me. It's just that you don't want to get caught up in the mumbo jumbo.
Yeah, well, and I mean, it's different manufacturers use different parts for their TVs, and the picture quality is different. Like I know there's this one. I think it's a 4K TV. I was looking at. It's like only a couple $100. It's like I don't know, maybe $400 or $500. It's like TCL is a brand. That seems to be like the new hot kind of budget brand or whatever. But you have to be careful on your viewing angles because once you leave a certain part on your couch, you don't really see it as well. So. I mean, it does pay to keep that in mind, and a lot of times, what the manufacturers will do is they'll, like I said, use parts from other companies, or like with Best Buy, they'll discount like their Dynex brand, which is their house brand. You'll get a deep discount on it, but it's not as good. So
yeah, so I mean, guys, whoever decides to make that jump, make that leap, if you got a cool 4K TV. Good for you.
Yes.
But if you don't, please.
Just as an aside, with that, if you don't, the other problem is, if beside just wanting 4K because it's the latest and greatest, it can be a hard sell because outside of going to Best Buy or something, it's hard to see 4K. Like you can't go to YouTube and watch 4K and really appreciate it.
You'll never get it. I mean,
your phone.
You'll never get it. And I want people to really understand that too. Like, don't. Oh yeah, my phone can stream in 4K, but your screen doesn't have.
Exactly.
You're not going to see a difference. I don't care what you say. I don't care what Verizon network you on. I don't care. It's not going to be that dope. But please educate yourselves on the 4K movement before you decide to get a TV. Then get the console, which is going to set you back maybe about $800-$900. Is Xbox One X a $900 thing?
Yeah.
And we're just hoping that the TV's $400.
Right.
I mean,
yeah, you're right. You're right.
A good one maybe $500 to $600. So it's like $1,100.
That's why it's going to be interesting to see the numbers on this thing. That's been a personal finance PSA from Hassan Hancock. Be safe, y'all.
I mean, I do want to get it during tax season because that will probably be the game that will probably be the console I would want to play Anthem on.
Right. Yeah. And that's I'm sure what Xbox is hoping on. People on the fence to say, okay, there's games coming out like Anthem.
In that one game, that one, and that's not even a 4K sensitive type game, but the one, what was it? Where they go? It's like a side scroll, like a 2D looking game. It's on their Xbox ID.
Are you talking about the last night? Last night. Yeah. I can't wait for that game. I don't even need 4K for that, man.
I don't even.
That game looks good. I'm excited for that one.
Can't wait for that. So, I mean, what else? What else did they? I know Nintendo did. They talked about Splatoon.
Mm-hmm. So what did they say about Splatoon, or what were the highlights about
maps?
Splatoon?
Just updates, really.
So how has the update system been on Splatoon as the owner?
Well, right now it's going through maintenance as we speak.
Yeah.
So I mean that maintenance here on Eastern time will be over by 11:30 or so.
Okay.
I mean, but they I mean, you can see the support there.
Right. That's wondering. Yeah. Like, is it?
I just
feels
got a new
like
gun. It came out a new weapon last week. They got new maps coming out. I think in a couple days or something like that. You know what I mean?
Right.
So it's like I mean, same thing like with Arms. They got a new character coming out.
I'm glad to hear, especially like with Arms, because I wouldn't have expected it to be as well received as it has. Because it looked like just kind of a typical launch game you gotta get and forget about.
Over 1 million sold. I mean, and once people get to play it, I think they got like another test punch on the 26th and the 28th this month. So I mean, if you got a Switch, if you're on the fence, try the test punch on those dates. Check out the times though. But
yeah, it's definitely, like I said, I'm glad to see it's good Nintendo, because these are like kind of they're in those particular arenas, online gaming and first person shooters and kind of semi-competitive gaming. This is kind of their tentpole right now until third parties come in, and fill that void. So I'm glad to see that they're really pushing that.
And they are, I believe that the third parties are coming in, swooping in, trying to get that. I mean, because they got 2K18,
right?
NBA,
right.
2K18 coming out for it. They got WWE 2K18 coming out.
Mm-hmm.
I think the physical copy thing is up in the air. I think it's coming out a little bit later, which is kind of like bullshit if you ask me.
Not really.
Yeah, it's digital. I mean, but that's cool. I mean, I could deal with that. It's not a big deal.
Right.
People knew that could be a possibility anyway for some of your bigger games, because it's like, this game is already being designed anyway, and it's an annual release type game. So
right.
For them to hurry up and try to make a cartridge base real quick.
Yeah, that you're right. And it's funny. I didn't even think about that when they originally announced the Switch, about that kind of coming. I'm just
happy
we
get the game in general.
Right. Exactly. Yeah. At this point. Yeah,
at this point. I mean, but I'm sure next year, especially next year, it'll follow suit and just drop those titles. So
right.
I got one cartridge. So I mean, I'm happy for that. They got a demo with Nintendo, and this is all from Gamescom too. Mm-hmm. So they got somebody demoed off screen. Skyrim.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Nice.
Off screen. For those who don't know what off screen is basically somebody's holding the game, or somebody's playing the game, and somebody's recording it with a device or a phone. So that's technically what off screen is. So they did that with Skyrim,
right?
And they it's another game that I don't think it was Nintendo, but yeah, I mean it looked well. It played, from what I can see, it looked pretty good. So
right.
I mean, shout out to him for that.
Which, and it's funny because I have the definitive edition of Skyrim. And the mods help, but I mean, it's a game that it has legs, even at this late, having this long. Yeah. I think the prospect of playing it on the go, particularly if they're able to get I don't know the technical limitations of putting mods on the Switch version, but just I think it could actually do pretty well. When they first announced it, I was like, who cares? But now I'm thinking about it more. I think it could be a pretty good thing for them.
It's gonna be doable. I mean, because people trust and believe. There's a ton of Skyrim lovers to this day.
Right.
Skyrim, it hit the heartstrings of players.
Yeah, it really did. Like people love some Skyrim. The only people who don't like it are like hardcore, like Oblivion fans or something like that, or like Morrowind fans. It's like, those are for casuals or whatever.
I don't care what nobody says. Morrowind is better. No, I mean, so I'm happy for them on that. Yeah. Also, I think under Nintendo's camp, they had the demo for Nintendo for Pokken tournament for those who don't, whatever. That comes out tonight. 12 a.m. So
nice.
Yeah,
I'm gonna check that out tonight then.
More than likely.
Yeah.
If I don't, I'll probably download it tonight and then play it tomorrow morning.
Right.
So I mean, so Nintendo's camp is doing good. Xbox's camp is doing it pretty good too. They got a nice reception. Sony's camp, how did that go?
For Sony, I think the biggest thing I could think of, and I kind of wanted to get into, at least pertaining to Sony, and really tangentially, was about the Shenmue 3 trailer. Yeah, because you mentioned that came out, so I went to go look it up, and I saw that the opinions were divided on whether, because the first article I saw was like it's really bad, and then some people were saying like it's exciting, and then I saw the article like basically it was down the middle. So I'm kind of curious what you thought. I kind of got the sense that you liked it. You thought it was pretty good.
Yeah, I like the way the locations look. Now, I mean, anybody who's into games for real, people know that over a period of time, character models and all that can be updated,
right?
To match.
Yeah, because it did surprise me. It was surprisingly static, I guess I could say. It reminded me of like a 360 or like earlier, just in the sense that the way the faces seem kind of really set on there, as opposed to like you see like the cinematic things from like Uncharted now and like Last of Us, and it's like photorealistic. This was definitely a different style, but like the set, like the locations were gorgeous to me. Like,
those are gorgeous.
And just that, and then knowing the gameplay of Shenmue, I'm like, I want to get in there. I want to play that. That looks fun. It's just, but it was weird with those eyebrows like on Shenmue's face.
The lips look kind of like, is he going to talk or is he going? Am I going to be reading?
It does look like a game. You're like, it may not be voice acting. I'm curious about this. Like,
I mean, but there again, that's one of the last things to really get updated. Anyway, I mean, you got to build the world first,
right, and it looks
come
good
to next year.
And honestly, Shenmue, and there are a lot of games that kind of get a pass on certain things. Like if it looked like that, but plays really well, plays like Shenmue, like we all wanted to play, people won't care.
No,
they'll be like, okay, it looks kind of dumb, but I'm
a Shenmue fan. I'm a Shenmue fan. But at the end of the day, I mean, we definitely got to wait and see.
Yeah, I mean, this is the first trailer since that E3 like 2 years ago.
I mean, and we saw some of these photos anyway from some of the set pieces that they have in the video. And it looks good.
Yeah.
I mean, so it's not like you didn't.
It's got the music in the back. It's got the whole.
That's what I needed. Put more power to Shenmue 3, baby. I'm getting it. I am a supporter. Kickstarter. Let's get it, baby. Let's do it. The Yakuza's coming out soon. That's under Sony. But I don't know if that was at Gamescom or not. But that's was that September? What was that?
Oh, I don't think I'll look here.
Why is as he's looking at that? We'll double back to Yakuza, but. Man, Dragon Ball Fighter Z.
That game is looking outstanding, man.
Golly. I wonder if Maximilian, if you're listening, I hope you're listening. If you're listening, man.
Listen to Senpai.
Yo, man, I mean, I know you're gonna be playing the hell out of that game, bro.
It just looked like we were watching the trailer for 18 and 16 and 17 again.
Yes, we did.
It just looks good. Like it just
looks like
they captured the anime look so well. Like
it's so
like it's really what you want. And you know, Dragon Ball. I think Dragon Ball Z has been kind of hit or miss in the 3D space. So I think taking it to 2.5 was the perfect.
It's funny too how things like that work. When Budokai was out, I was like, 2D, like playing field type. It's all right, And then Tenkaichi came out. I was like, this is what Dragon Ball Z needs to be.
Right. Yeah.
But now we're back. Now, Dragon Ball Fighter Z is what we should have been having on.
Right.
I think that people got tired of that whole 3D playing field going around.
Right. And I mean, no shade to the developers who worked on it with Namkai, but like I like ArcWorks, they have the pedigree, so they know what they're doing with a good fighting game, and you're just throwing that Dragon Ball Z layer on top of that. Like that could be basically you could take it off the Dragon Ball Z, it would still be a good fighting game.
Right.
But I think as we were saying, the license helps because it's coming out at a time where Dragon Ball Super is on, people are watching Super. And then the other fighting games like Injustice 2 is good, but it's a different style of game. Marvel vs. Capcom is not really doing it for people right now. Street Fighter, so there's an opening for them to take advantage of.
I've seen people, talk about the new trailer for Marvel vs. Capcom Infinite.
Yeah,
the story trailer looks pretty good.
Yeah.
I mean, I just need to see more, I guess. I mean, like a full character roster or something like that. I want to see.
I thought it was. I thought they already
have it out.
I thought I saw a video.
It could be. But
it could be.
I want to see Black Panther fight. That's what I want to see. I don't just need the roster. I want to see that character.
Yeah, I mean that is the advantage. I mean, in the one hand, you know what you're getting with Marvel vs. Capcom, so you kind of want to see it because how does this translate for someone like Black Panther? Like how does that kind of work? So I mean there's definitely a buzz, and the Marvel vs. Capcom fans are gonna get it, but I think for people who aren't committed to one franchise or another, they can be swayed. Kind of undecided market. But I mean, like I said, I'm excited to see where that goes as well.
You catch up on the Yakuza?
I'm looking to see. I just saw that it said that they said they're going to have a few. In June they said they were going to have some more information about it, but
I could have swore it came out in September. More on that. We'll figure. I mean, show's still going on. Shit. I mean, you know what's going on, guys. Now the Tekken fans. Hello, how you guys doing? Tekken Mobile
Yeah.
How you feel?
Just real quick, because I also saw when I was looking up things about Gamescom, they mentioned about Final Fantasy Pocket. What do you feel about these games going mobile? These mobile editions. What do you?
I had heard something like that that version may also end up on Switch. I hope not. I hope.
What you talk about the Final Fantasy or?
Yeah, the 15.
Well, I mean, I guess maybe if they feel like they can make some money off of it, maybe.
I don't like that shit.
Yeah.
Yeah. This is the custom edition of the Ramen Room guys. No.
It's a late night.
Yeah, this is the Jack Daniels Hennessy version of Ramen Room guys. No. I got to see more, but I like the. I mean, how dare you in one breath be like, okay, here's the pocket looking, cartoony looking version. And we got it on like in 8K on PC though.
Yeah.
It's like what?
Well, I mean, you work with the hardware you have and what you're able to.
I know that, but it's like, okay, can we? No. I don't even have a PC that could do 8K anything. But it's like, man, like the current version it looks good as is.
Mm-hmm.
I don't want to have a dialed down version just so I can play on the mobile or possibly even the Switch or. And then you get this 8K version on PC. It's like, okay, I mean, I want to see it look better than what it is, not, like the little chibi versions.
Yeah, no, I understand because you want like the full meat experience. You want like
with the meat and potatoes, man.
Yeah. I mean, like I said, I think if they feel like there's a chance to get away with that, they'll probably try it.
Mm-hmm.
But but you in general like go into these mobile versions of games because some. They translate it differently, like Hitman Go or Tomb Raider Go, and they're pretty successful with it. But kind of like you're saying, kind of circling back around to Tekken. I mean, you're not a fan at all of just going mobile. Because I just like someone was showing me like a Bleach game they had on their phone that was kind of interesting. I mean, it played pretty well for a touchscreen game, but I love my buttons. I love the tactile feel of something physical. I touchscreen controls all touchscreen controls don't do it for me.
I mean, oftentimes they don't never do it for me. I mean, I just don't want to play. Maybe I'm just old fashioned.
Yeah.
I'm just one of those guys that just want to play that type of game on a console.
Right.
Doesn't matter if it's DS, 3DS, Vita, whatever, what have you. I don't want to play it on an iPhone.
Right, because I mean, I was gonna say a lot of my hesitation for mobile gaming previously has just been the lack of like kind of you said like a full experience. But they have like older Final Fantasy games in there. You can get GTA on your phone. There's Tales games on your phone. I think they're more like the mobile style games. But the point is that you can get fuller experiences. But like you said, I'm used to like I sit down on the console for that, or sit down in front of a PC to play those kind of games, not on the phone.
Not on the damn phone.
Yeah. Plus, I mean, this is completely more specific to here, but like being in Ohio and Columbus specifically, it's not like we're in like San Francisco or New York where we're on transit for like 2 hours on a train. We're driving everywhere, so
Columbus is one of those cities where you damn sure driving anywhere you want to go.
So I mean, like if I'm home, I'm going to use my console. Mm-hmm. If I'm on the go, I'm usually doing something. I'm not able to really just sit down and crank out.
Right. I can say it's like San Francisco, New York, or something like that, where you really are, on the train,
right?
For real,
yeah.
Then all right, cool, but no.
Yeah.
I'm just an aware dude. I mean, you might catch me looking at some of my famous gaming websites, or I might Facebook it up or something like that. I may breeze through Instagram,
right?
But I'm not gonna have like a full gaming experience.
Right. You're not checking how many Phoenix downs you got. You're like, man, I gotta take this boss out. Like,
I mean, what you gonna do? Like, you at work, right? And you got your mobile out. What you gonna go eat your lunch and then be at the work cafeteria just playing, Tekken real quick, on the touchscreen.
Yeah.
No, hell no. But they're doing it because there's a market out there. So I don't want to make it seem like, just because it's not for me doesn't mean I just necessarily don't agree with it. Mm-hmm. It's just not for me. So,
right, exactly, right. Like, that's just same here.
It's just not for me. Now, shouts out to all the sport. I mean, this has been like, seems like the year for sports games. Like, you got Madden's been getting raving reviews. It looks good. I haven't had a chance to play it. Not the biggest Madden player, but from what I can see, it does. It's making me want to go out and get that game. So.
Right. Like you mentioned, and they showed this at E3, they kind of took a page from 2K.
Oh, yeah. They
added that story mode.
A whole chapter, brother.
But I think that helps because I remember having a conversation with a coworker years ago about how Like that's kind of what you wanted. Like I mean, there's. I mean, you have your people who love playing franchise and the who
starts off at
online.
Last Chance U.
Yeah.
and then from Last Chance U it goes.
But I'm saying, I think there's a market for like that RPG like experience for a sports game, even if even without a full storyline, just being able to pick your equipment because people like throwing themselves, creating their own character, and really getting in on that. And my concern years ago was that, and it's still I guess a little concern that the Madden Ultimate Team, the card packs and all that stuff, that would become EA's focus, and then everything else would kind of fall by the wayside. Because at Madden, they have a tendency to sometimes not fix all the bugs, not solve every request, because but
some on purpose shit. But go ahead,
right? But that online purchasing that'll make them that money, so they'll focus on that. So I'm glad to hear that they put a really strong effort into the single player side of things.
Yeah, I guess they would have to. I mean, since they don't make any more college games, so
yeah, that still hurts. That still hurts, man.
But I mean, the game looks good. I will play. Now you probably won't catch me online or nothing like that.
Yeah, those days are past for me, man. It's
gonna be a full single player experience for me, man. It's gonna be
offline.
I'm gonna be picking plays out of a dime, dog. I need to be playing special teams. Like, what the hell am I doing? Nah. But I want to get that definitely. I did have a chance ever so slightly, to play live to 18.
Yeah, and you said it wasn't that bad. You said it was.
No, I mean, I don't think it's that bad at all. I mean, but I mean, for me, a basketball game is a basketball game. I think the only issue is, people who are really invested into playing basketball games in general, I have gotten accustomed to what 2K can provide and what they like. I mean, the game. I mean, like they did side by side comparisons on a couple of YouTube channels that I've seen. Is one of those things. Is like texture. It looks good on this game. Lighting looks better on that game. Lighting's better than 2K18. Some textures, for characters look better in live. And then I've seen some things where, like the character models in live are all the same.
Yeah.
It is, but I mean, the soundtrack is nice. I mean, I guess what you come to expect from
the soundtrack,
any black video game. I mean, they kind of like Luke Cage the shit.
Yeah, that's a new phrase for it. Luke Caging it,
man. more on that reference here in a minute in our comment section. But yeah, man. I mean,
it's crazy to think about live like. Because I mean that was for a while, like until
that was the it game.
Yeah, for like at least probably to the mid 2000s, like that was the dominant of the two basketball series. Like that was the one you played. Like you didn't play 2K as much. Like I mean, we were talking about 2K on the Dreamcast, but like live and EA dominated, and it's crazy to see that they fell. I remember twice or so that I think they canceled the game.
I just hate when companies be making it seem like they chose to do this. No, shut up. EA, you know what it is.
Right.
What the hell's going on? It's like, yeah, man, we decided to take a year out so we could improve. Improve on what?
Right. Like, really? You got all the way through the game and we're like, you know what, guys?
You made $48.67 on live and you realize, man, we spent about, $17.5 million on this game.
They bought it with a coupon. Made a mess.
Somebody got a half one. Somebody got our gamers unlocked. So one goddamn copy. So yeah, EVA quit the shit.
Yeah, man. I mean, it seems like they're rebounding a bit. I'd be curious to find out. Just not even necessarily about the cancel games, but kind of like in general what the issue is. I mean, because there's only so many ways you can make a basketball game, and for it to still be working its way back is surprising this many years later.
Yeah. I mean, I guess they just want to. I mean, one thing I can respect about EA, to be honest with you kind of have to have that balance. I mean, the market gets real stagnant when you just expect one company to do this one thing.
People have their complaints about 2K. I mean, it's not a flawless game by any stretch. So you're right, having that competition.
I mean, even like with soccer or football for the everybody likes FIFA, but what's the other one? PES?
Yeah, Pro Evolution Soccer.
Yeah, I mean, and people play that shit.
Yeah, they do. Yeah, and I've heard the debates between which is better.
I think there's an actual deal. I forgot how to do. I skimmed over it, but it's like a deal with an actual soccer team,
right?
For PES or something like that. So, I mean, but even still, you got PES and you have FIFA. The only one that corners the market because the EA's need to be the only sole version is football.
Right.
American football. There's no other football games. 2K was doing a hell of a good job.
Yeah.
With football until they just couldn't do it no more.
Yeah. And I think and I think Sony is the only one that has a baseball game right now.
Yeah.
The show. Because apparently at least from what I heard, and shout out to IGN because I heard this from them, Ryan McCaffrey, but they mentioned that 2K said that it's just not profitable enough. Like they had their own baseball game for a while. Though I remember the last time I remember seeing a review for it didn't review that well anyway, but they said it wasn't worth it putting the money into to a baseball game. So maybe that I guess maybe EA's in the same situation though. I mean, the money's got to be there for a basketball game.
Yeah, definitely.
I mean, at least the potential.
People are buying basketball games like a month.
Right.
I mean, the crossovers. I mean, the online.
And you joked about it being, I guess, the music from a black game, but for a lot of people, a lot of gamers in general, really black or white, but basketball like Live, 2K, Madden, those are games that some people get, and that's the only game they play.
Yeah.
Like they'll get a PS4, they'll get 2K, and then just play that every year, and just they'll put hours into it, but they don't care about Final Fantasy, they don't care about Uncharted, but they'll play 2K all day.
They might play Call of Duty.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, Call of Duty.
I mean, which crosses over into what a lot of gamers call that Dew Bro.
Right.
That Mountain Dew Doritos type. that guy. That dude. Yeah, I'll be damned if you have a Red Bull, man. We don't drink that. Drink that Monster B. It's head over heels energy for you, dog. But also 2K WWE.
Oh yeah. We were looking at that.
Good.
It looks gorgeous.
I'm not the biggest wrestling game. I miss the old like boxing games, like round 4.
Right? Yeah. Like
round 3.
I think it's been like 2011.
Round 3 is like one of my favorite. Round 4 was like,
yeah.
But I mean, I miss that boxing.
Yeah, it's been a while since it's been a fight night.
Yeah, I mean, because it's, the change in the craft is all about MMA, which is cool.
Right.
But I don't want to go to the mat and have to quarter circle forward, half circle my R stick to get out of the left triangle. I don't want to.
You gotta actually go to real
mathematize
training,
my shit. Let me hit. Square, triangle. Lean back and hit him with the hook.
Yeah, I remember when they introduced that stick, that they use the other analog stick for the boxing. That was huge. Like, that was.
But the MMA shit is like, man, you get knocked to the ground, you trying to get out of submission locks and holds, and it's like, man, I don't know if I want to play. And you can't. I mean, if you play with John Jones, apparently you're cheating now because he been they say he was. On steroids. So I was like, shit.
Like I said, I don't know the numbers on it or the. Now I wonder with this big fight coming up if that'll help it. So I don't know the demographics on it, but I'm surprised that there's not even at least attempt at a new boxing game.
Oh, somebody to tap somebody. Who would you have do it?
I mean, it would have to be probably EA. I mean, THQ's not around anymore, so I mean they're.
I think Nordic and THQ Nordic.
Oh, I guess that is true. Do you think they would?
Fuck no. they ain't doing that.
It would probably be one of your big two, either Activision or EA. Well, maybe since EA does do the UFC, I could see maybe 2K. Again, that would depend if there's enough of a profit in it, but I could see 2K maybe countering with boxing.
Yeah, I think boxing would definitely do it. I mean, just to get people back into it. I mean, maybe this Conor McGregor, Mayweather fight. I think it could raise the eyebrow. People could want it. We'll see. I mean, what do you guys think? I mean, who would you want to make your next boxing game? Would you want EA to do it? All your favorites? It's kind of hard. I mean, the boxing's so self-removed. People don't know who the hell a favorite is anymore.
That's honestly, that's part of the problem is. I mean, really, outside of like Pacquiao and Mayweather, do you really know a boxer?
Yeah, I mean, I like Ryder. Wilder.
Yeah,
Wilder's pretty dope. I mean, but then again, he a heavyweight cat. You know what I'm saying? But then again, I mean, who you gonna be picking? You're gonna see a lot of online fights with Muhammad Ali,
I was gonna say,
Mike Tyson, and Sugar Ray Leonard.
They would have to. Put the legends in there. But I mean, that helps move it. I mean, and Fight Night fans, where you at? Let me know.
Let us know, man.
You missed the franchise?
I
remember when it came out, when the 360 and all that launched, and they had like that Fight Night, and it was just gorgeous, and you had the new controller. It was good. So I want to see that come back.
Also, email us at theramenroom@gmail.com. Again, it's theramenroom@gmail.com. Also, you can find us on Facebook.
Oh yeah,
just type in the Ramen Room in the search bar. I don't have any other way to make it even simpler than that. You can find it, the Ramen Room, in your search bar on Facebook. You know what it is. Be there. Same thing for Twitter. The Ramen Room. You already know what it is, man. I'm glad you guys are rocking with us. Coming up next, I'm going to get into this comic section. A lot to talk about. I told you guys I would be able to, go over the references with the Luke Cage in it.
Yeah, man. People want to know.
We talk about Defenders, man. We're going to talk about a few other things too. Right back after this, after the bump or whatever. Is that what you call it?
It's a bump.
After the bump.
Welcome back to the Ramen Room. It is time to discuss comics.
Yeah, we're going into the comics, man.
The floppies.
Well, it's a lot of stuff. I mean, I haven't been caught up. I apologize. This is the comic section. But in terms of books, right now, I'm still getting caught up on certain stories.
Yeah,
I'll bring back the comic portion.
Yeah, I know. I'm getting a pull list together for a local comic shop. I know I'm trying to make sure I get everything I want. I want to get those Dark Days. The new DC event metal, I think Dark Metal. I don't know why I keep mixing up the name, but I hear it's really good. I'm trying to avoid spoilers, so I'm trying to pick this up this week. Pick up a few other books, get caught up on Injustice too.
Yeah, definitely. I gotta get caught up on that real quick.
I like it. So I'll definitely next week we're gonna come with some the actual comic books.
Yeah, the part that you guys been wanting to hear about since we started this thing. But no, the Defenders, man.
The popular side. So I mean, we were talking about it, off air. To me, it's solid. It's not terrible.
Mm-hmm.
I'm like I said, I'm almost through it. But even so far, I've gotten enough that I can make a general impression, which is it's solid, it's good. It just lacks a bit of a punch to it. It doesn't have, like, we were kind of talking, and it's sort of apples and oranges, but also kind of a fair comparison. But we were talking about it after the most recent Game of Thrones episode, and it's just obviously HBO, they put a lot of money behind Game of Thrones, totally different thing. But that even in an episode where you kind of can guess where Game of Thrones is going because it's kind of taking a slightly more predictable turn, there's still more tension. There's still more excitement coming from the show. With Defenders, it's very kind of, it's kind of straightforward, I think is what I want to say. So it's not as exciting. Like, the Hand doesn't seem that menacing. They just seem like just bad guys.
Like, it seemed like they're like, yo, why do they keep messing with us? Like, we just want to live long.
Yeah.
Like, I meant to say, I'll put it in there too, man. I mean, there's going to be some spoil. I hope. It's only 8 episodes. I hope y'all found the time during the weekend. After dinner on Sunday, you weren't doing shit on Saturday. Like, all this had to have been done. I mean, you could have done this because, the lunar eclipse thing. Y'all had time to watch this before the lunar eclipse. I mean, you should be good to go just in time for Game of Thrones. So, I mean, spoilers, yes. Okay, now that that's out the way. Wow.
He said, wow. That's all I'm not excited about.
I don't know what you mean.
Listen. Electra's costume was really good. I'll give him credit for that.
Yeah, it was.
I like that. That was a good costume.
Like you can get that jacket at Macy's, brother.
Yeah. Well, I mean, even the red. I mean, it was pretty comic accurate.
You can't go wrong with black and red.
Yeah.
She should have wore aqua blue and forest green. That should have probably looked sweet.
Aqua blue.
It probably looks sweet. But she would definitely stand out. But the costume looks great. There she is. She'll never get away. But the way the design was good. And another costume that was really good was Iron Fist. Man, did they really make him look like he just walked out at Old Navy?
Every time. I don't understand why they can't just give him his costume.
I don't know.
I mean, at least with Luke Cage, they're having him wear the yellow shirt. Like, it's reminiscent of his, and it's basically his costume anyway, because it didn't really have a costume per se. And you got Daredevil. So we already have people walking around in costume.
Yeah.
Just give him, be like, hey, I got to put my gi on real quick. I'm more flexible than in, a suit.
He's going to be out there in his white belt gi. Doing karate. Getting mollywopped. You know, his woman. What's her name?
Colleen Wing.
Yeah, man. She's just always getting cut. Shit. Block, nigga.
Block. Hold the back button.
Damn, what you doing? Kind of master is you. They always got an opening. Slash you on your back. Slash you on your belly. She can't catch a break, man. I mean, a good performance. I thought was a good performance was Misty Knight.
Yeah. She's always, I like her.
Beautiful woman, man. Goddamn, she's fine. Woo! Yeah, I did that. Only thing I hate what they did with her is I just feel like she just always wanted to be in the loop.
Yeah.
Tell me what is going on. 2 episodes later, if you guys would just tell me, like, what is going on? Last episode. Now we done been through this. Somebody needs to tell me what is going on. Who is going to be?
More Misty, man.
Who is going to be?
Always out of the loop.
Always out of the loop, man. She just want to help. The Daredevil stole the show.
Yeah, and that's where I think that's another thing that's kind of weird. It's like, again, I don't know who choreographed or designed the fights, but going back, like Daredevil's, even in the show, like I thought Daredevil's fights in his own show were better. Even in this show, I feel like he looked like a better martial artist than Iron Fist did.
Yeah, that's the problem. Like, why is Stick so talented?
Yeah. Like, and the thing is, people will say, well, Iron Fist, he's still learning. It's kind of, I get it, but he doesn't look like he's actually a good fighter. Like, he doesn't look like he's a trained fighter. It's so weird.
No, I mean, put it this way. This here goes the big disconnect, man. I mean, the people. Listen, okay, so the people who taught Stick learned from the people who taught Iron Fist. Okay,
yeah.
So somebody is dropping the ball,
right? I mean, he should have the direct source. He should be better.
He should be like, you can't handle it. You can't.
Right.
He should
even if he's not like a good Iron Fist yet, he should still be a good fighter, like in general.
Yeah, like the fighting should be like bat. Yeah, you ain't ready, but look in your face. It's in your face right now. You didn't even see it. Like it should be. He should be. I mean, all the different powers that the Iron Fist is supposed to have.
Yeah.
I mean, I think even if he's just not a well versed, like you said, Iron Fist.
Right.
I'm sorry, the immortal Iron Fist. He would slap. No, he probably wouldn't do that. I'll probably beat his ass. But I was gonna say it'll slap the taste out of my mouth if I messed up the immortal part. But I ain't got to worry about him.
Yeah, not this Iron Fist.
Yeah, not this Iron Fist.
Like, quit. Quit playing around.
Man, if you don't stop swatting flies,
flashlight head away.
Iron Fist. But I mean, I just feel like he does not. I mean, he has the power of like some sort of hypnotism at some point, healing. Of course, you guys seen that. Colleen never got that treatment. She only got it one time, but he's like, "Look, bitch, I'm not gonna do it. I'm not gonna do it again.
It's one and done.
Yeah, we're gonna take you to the hospital. This time,
we got that Blue Cross Blue Shield."
Yeah, out there slapping down his insurance. You bring your insurance card before we go over there. But he could heal. He got superhuman reflexes.
Mm-hmm.
He could use his chi to augment his speed,
right.
strength. None of that was seen in the show. And you could say, well, he hasn't learned it yet. But I'm one to believe that. I think it would have been better if he was to activate some of those things every now and again,
right? Yeah,
and not know how he. Like, for example, like when he fought Daredevil, he should have in that fight, instead of doing this shockwave thing he did earlier in the season with Luke Cage, it would have been sweet if he just would have just activated out of frustration all that other stuff,
right,
and totally overpower, Daredevil.
Yeah.
He didn't do it.
Yeah, and then to me that would make more sense, as you said, to the whole idea of him still learning is, like you said, coming up accidentally. Like he's just unleashing it without really knowing what he's doing, like button mashing his way through, and it kind of showing up, but him not really knowing how to do it again on command.
Right.
And I think that speaks a lot of it to one of the problems that the show does have, which I understand, you're dealing with at minimum 4 principal characters, especially when they do their team fights, and you got, a lot you're trying to do, but if you're not, like, it's a TV show, this budget's only so much, so they're not going to, like, have super great effects, super great powers, and not everyone can fight, but you can mitigate that by really showing intense moves. So, like, even if, he's not flipping all and jumping up and down, disappearing, when you have scenes where he's really close up and it's just hard hits and something impressive happens. That's really what was missing for me. There was no point where you're just like, woo! Like, there's no like, oh, I can't believe he just did that. Like, he flipped a table and kicked it at somebody, then...
No rewind moments.
Yeah, exactly. No rewind moments.
They should have called John Woo or something. I don't know what they should have
did. They need that. Like, they're like, you look at, like, for example, and again, the budget's bigger, but like for like the Avengers, and there's that scene where the first one where they're in the city and the camera's panning from character to character, and you're watching them fight, and you're kind of excited because they're working together. Then Cap and Iron Man do their thing. Like, there was no moment of that like that, like no equivalent for the show in the Defenders.
And what we got was what we got in the beginning. Oh man, they're shooting bullets. Here come Luke Cage. I'll protect you. And he's blocking bullets.
That was not
flinching. Meanwhile, back at the ranch, he gets slapped by Elektra, and he's out for the count. It's like, what the hell? What did that bullet do?
Right. Like, okay, going back to that, there's that scene where and I was going to get to the actual parts I did like here, but there's a scene where they're attacked at the restaurant, and the Nigerian white hat guy or whatever, Prince of Nigeria, goes in and attacks him, and he's doing his little finger Fist of the North Star, Kenshiro pressure point thing, which, okay, it was whatever. So he's kind of hitting Luke Cage, and you're kind of seeing Luke take it a little bit. And, Luke, because of the way he fights, and probably just because of the actor, he's a little stiff taking it back, but he gets hit by a car. Then we see Luke again, and he's captured him. Like, we missed, like, the resolution of that fight. Like, why did we not see that?
Yeah.
Like, that looked like it would have been kind of interesting, the two different styles, and Luke trying to fight his way through that. But instead, they kind of rushed through it, and
I got him in the car.
Yeah.
What? How did...
And that's why that didn't affect their stakes, because he just got hit by a car. Next time we see you captured the villain?
Yeah.
Okay.
All right.
I get it. Okay. It's gonna be like...
I get it. Unbreakable skin.
Right.
All right, cool. And then at the same time, he get a waff of some incense. Totally knocks him out. Just immediately. Hey, what you burning over there, Stick? Oh, just a little bit of this, a little bit of that. You know what I'm saying? A couple shrubs, and he's like, gone. I mean, I seen Luke Cage hit the canvas more in this.
Which to me, to be fair, I mean, I think it's kind of good because outside of that, he's really boring. To be honest with Luke's kind of boring in the show.
Yeah, I mean, he's very boring.
He's a soulful black man.
I mean, but let's not forget his soundtrack.
It was every time. You knew it was Luke's turn.
Baby, I like it raw.
Like, you'd be literally watching the show, and Jessica's like, I gotta go help somebody. And all of a sudden, doom, 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 doom. Yeah, okay, here comes Luke. The bass kicks in. You're just like,
Rage Against the Machine and bring in the noise. They should play some shit that he probably listens to, like some Heavy D. I probably, they ain't gotta keep playing that New York.
You could just transition over.
Yeah, man.
But like, it was funny because we were talking about that, and then like I was watching an episode, and it was when he went to go confront that guy's mom was in jail, and it was like the most blackest black scene. She's like talking to him about church and. You're such a good guy, and it was just like, this is the most stereotypical. You check all the boxes.
Baby. Every black mom don't talk like that.
Part of this kid, so stereotypical. It was like, it was surprised. Like, I thought for sure there had to be like, maybe she was in on it, or there was like a turn. No, it was just, that was what they did.
And then I didn't understand the whole wad of money in the box.
Yeah, I mean, it was.
I mean, is she just saved the money from the thing?
Yeah, it was the only thing. I mean,
and he looked at that and he ended up at the daggone Heartland Bank.
Yeah,
like, what?
I'm assuming that's why he told him to give them the lotto ticket so that she would likely have Luke put it in the box, or he'd see her put it in the box, and then I guess get a clue that way. But yeah, right.
And then the guy he'd been trying to save just dies.
Yeah.
And now we're back at the hand. Forget the little kid. I mean, the point was to give Luke a reason to join the team.
Right. In which I can appreciate that. And I like that they were kind of give him, the hand was affecting everybody sort of separately, and it kind of pulled them all together, which I like the idea of that.
What they should have did is have somebody, allude back to Cottonmouth or something like that.
Yeah.
Or his little brother Cotton Swab or something like that.
swap.
Like,
I mean, to say what I did like, I did like when they first met up when they were at that Heartland Bank, and like that. I mean, obviously it was a trailer scene, so it's kind of a shame that was from the trailer. But when they were kind of fighting together, and Jess and Luke take somebody out, and Denny,
well, weak ass hallway
you
scene.
know, yeah. But I mean, it was for that show that at that point in time, it was like, okay, finally something's happening, because it was a slow start. So
we've come together, and we're gonna do. I mean, okay. First of all, what the hell was Jessica Jones supposed to do in any of that? Like, I mean,
well, she has super strength, so she should be doing something.
Yeah, I mean, but that was hella inconsistent throughout the show.
That was kind of weird. Like,
I mean, you can slap the shit out of her, and she could really be slapped. I mean,
yeah. She got super strength. She's not invulnerable.
I know. But she bleeding and shit. She can. I mean, technically, she can fly, guys. Yeah. Hello.
Yeah, that's true. But they ain't got the budget for that.
Yeah. How do we know that? I mean, because they could spend $110 million on the Get Down or whatever the hell. They got all these other shows like the Ozarks. I mean, I'm sure they got a decent budget. I bet there's a better
Honestly,
budget.
it's probably... I was joking about budget, but it might even just be the logistics of it, because showing flying is difficult.
I mean, but, jumping...
They could show her gliding in, like kind of landing, just...
Yeah, I mean, because, bro, if I could sit here right now and watch Underworld and watch Selena just drop from a building, she ain't flying, even though technically she can now.
Yeah.
But if she drops from a high building and hit the ground and just continue to walk,
okay,
that's enough for me to be like, okay, she's
right,
durable.
to make the,
but I mean, and she did it kind of before.
Yeah.
But I wanted to see it, but they ain't gonna do that. They ain't gonna do that. So Jessica Jones' reason for being part of the group was hella stupid. One of her clients, like the person she was supposed to be watching comes in her office and shoots his brains out.
Yeah.
And now that you think about it, it's like, bro, you could have just did that job and kept on moving.
Yeah.
Like, why? What was so deep and devious about this plan that made you be like, I gotta end it?
Right. Well, I mean, yeah, I guess he didn't want to. I don't know. I having finished. I don't know if they ever touch on it again, but I get the sense maybe he just didn't want to do it, but he was scared of the hand. I mean, which to me,
how scary are they? They seem not to be.
That's to me was one of the bigger disconnects, is because you have a situation where all these people, which I'm fine with, all these disparate people are like scared, and they're kind of like, oh, they're gonna get, they play them up, and they play up their ability to work in the shadows and everything. But at the end of the day, it just came off like your basic, henchmen and bosses. Like,
I mean, it was mad henchmen,
and they weren't particularly like effective or scary. Like, it was like we were saying, like, it wasn't like you're watching it and it was just like you're freaking out for the characters, because everywhere they go, the hand is like beating down on them. They're worn down, they're tired, and the hand are just mob style blowing things up and just ruining lives. Like, it was like, okay. I mean, we know they're dangerous because you tell us they're dangerous and because they're ninjas, but that's about it.
And that was it. I mean, and who the hell was a ninja in this group? I mean, these Yakuza looking.
Yeah. I kind of wish it'd have been all ninjas rather than like the random group of gunmen that the African dude had.
Meryl Streep. What's that girl's name?
Sigourney Weaver.
Yeah, Sigourney Weaver. By the way, is going to be in almost all your avatars after 2020. I mean, I just couldn't understand this multicultural group that came from Kunlun. Like, I mean,
it was like,
what kind of peace army is this?
Yeah, it was like
the African, the white woman, the Asian Japanese guy, and who just spoke Japanese. Okay. And everybody knew what he was talking about. You go to this mystical land that's supposed to be set apart, and everybody knows they learn English somewhere.
Yeah.
But he said, fuck that.
No.
I mean, they'll respond in English, and he will respond in Japanese.
Yeah, so he knows what they're saying. He's just not going to do it.
He just absolutely refuses. And they're telling us, like, yo, he's supposed to be that, he's a G.
Yeah.
And maybe he's like a lowercase G.
Yeah,
I think because apparently he didn't do what I thought he would do.
Yeah.
He got knocked over a balcony. He looked over. He was gone.
Yeah.
And then he's like, yo, the Daredevil's back. You got this hulking black man who can't get shot. We ain't worried about that.
Right.
You got this strong ass woman. Ain't worried about that.
I could even give him that because they said, like Stick said, he's kind of the guy who was pulling the strings on Nobu, who Daredevil fought. So maybe this guy would have more interest or experience with Daredevil because he's like, oh, he fought one of my best fighters, blah blah blah, and killed him or tried to kill him, whatever. But you're right. Like, I mean, why didn't they come up with like at least with Luke Cage in that one during his show, they had those special bullets. They should have been like, there's a guy who bullets are bouncing off. Let's get special bullets.
Yeah.
Like that, I think would have helped add to the, like all of a sudden, because if every time they show up to shoot, Luke Cage is going to block it. There's no tension. There's nothing to be concerned about.
You got to worry about shooting. All you got to do is just send somebody in there and do a couple leg sweeps.
Yeah.
Luke Cage out.
Like why it's. Like, there was never that like, hey, let's switch up what we're fighting with. Like we'll send like a ninja to beat up Luke Cage and like just shoot the Iron Fist.
Yeah, shoot that. Yeah, because he ain't blocking. I mean, his hand ain't that fast to be blocking it a whole lot. He going down for the count.
Yeah.
Daredevil's going down for the count.
Like
Jessica Jones is going down for the count. Now what they do? All right, guys, this is what we're gonna do. We're gonna do the same thing that we did last time, but we're gonna do it better. episode 8. All right, here's the plan. You guys ready for this one? Hey, pay attention. We're gonna do the exact same thing that we did the last time.
We're due for a win, guys.
Yeah.
I can feel it.
This time, I believe we have enough ammunition to put down the invincible Iron Fist. I mean, well, no.
He was like, "Sir, should we shoot an Iron Fist?" No. I really want to get that black guy.
I think we need to start. We need to keep targeting that black guy because something's going to happen. And then here come Electra doing a couple leg sweeps. This dude's knocked out. He just hits his head wrong. Just passes out.
Right.
And then your immortal Iron Fist is in this chair in this constriction thing. I'm like, man, thank God he's not my favorite comic book character. Because don't nobody want a comic book character whose arch nemesis
not my favorite.
Is a cowboy knot. Don't nobody really want that. I mean, we could go on and on about the Defenders. The Defenders, to me, out of a 10, comes out at a 6.5. Man,
I was going to give it like a 7.5 where I'm at. Basically, I mean, I think it's solid. It's not
episode 8. You could be like, but no.
I mean, you're right. You're right. Like it could it could drop.
I mean, definitely could drop. Oh yeah. I thought we forgot all them side characters though. The drug addict that gained some weight somewhere. It was good. It's getting healthy.
Yeah.
It's good. Jessica Jones's person, right?
Yeah.
He was in that Misty Knight section.
Yeah.
I'm starting to really feel like the black side characters was just really just wanting to help, but just never had a place. Just never really. I mean, and then you had Foggy.
Yeah.
I mean, get it, Foggy. He got the new hairstyle, bro.
Yeah, man. Look at respectable.
I see you, Jess. Oh man, she the wrong person. You can't tell her a secret for shit. She gonna tell. She gonna tell everybody. She's like, Matt. I thought you were going to stop doing this Daredevil thing.
Oh, yeah, Karen.
All up, Karen. Yeah, all up in. I call her Jess from. Is that for True Blood? But
I wonder if the decision, because usually when you go to 8 episodes, you're expecting like everything is going to be very quick moving, highly dense episodes. They don't have a lot to work with. With it being so slow, I don't know if the 8 episodes ended up hampering them because they had so many characters to work with.
Or did
they weren't able to really flush it out like they wanted.
Yeah, and they definitely fired their music coordinator for being so goddamn racist. But,
I will say this. I'll say positive. Like I said, where I'm at, the action's picked up, so it's a little more interesting. And it kind of makes me. It would take some work, but it would make me want to watch a Luke Cage and Iron Fist show. Like I don't know if I'd watch another season of them separately, but together I could kind of see that they played up the dynamic a little bit. It didn't feel as natural as you wanted, but I think there's potential there.
It could be. I mean, in the episodes that they try to push out, they try to create that. I had already said to one of my friends, I said, "Look, man, they should have had maybe Danny Rand." Somehow just link up. You know how confused he was in his own show in the beginning? Maybe he should have ended up in Iron Fist from the last episode looking for directions or something like that.
Yeah.
And then, maybe Luke Cage and Iron Fist maybe in the first episode. So you can see some sort of friendship.
Right, yeah.
Being formed.
I think, because I think you're right about that. I think, again, going back to the 8 episodes, I think the slowness at the beginning of the first episode really...
They could see the whole Cambodia scene out.
Yeah. First of all, Electra flying out of that tub out of nowhere. I was watching. I was like, why did she just like squirt out of there was the weirdest thing. I don't understand that. I do to this day don't understand what they were going for. But I think if they cut out a lot of that stuff, it was weird because like you see her and then they cut to Sigourney Weaver and she goes like out like a cat flying across the screen. Like I don't understand what was going on there. But I think I think they lost a lot spending time on that, like you're saying. And if they'd have wrapped around some of this to the previous seasons, because you're right. Because I think I liked some of the dynamic they were putting together, but it feels like because we know they're supposed to be friends, they pushed them together to be friends, so it didn't feel as natural. Like it didn't feel like they were just like bros. It was like, well, they're going to be, so we might as well have them, hang out together.
I mean, because right now, Luke Cage, he has a motive right now.
Yeah,
Luke Cage wants to be able to be that guy who's like, you know what, Harlem good, I'm good.
Yeah.
Danny Rand is like the Hand. Well, and that's it.
Yeah.
I mean, like, bro, what do you? I don't know.
It should have been an opportunity.
Whatever, Danny.
It should have been like a kind of a learning back and forth kind of situation where like he's like Harley, like Luke is like, hey, Danny, you need to focus on the details, and Danny's like, Luke, you got to look at the bigger picture. Kind of back and forth. It should have been, not it have to do like a fastball special like with Wolverine, but like more opportunities of them teaming up. And that way, it kind of grows naturally on itself. But
yeah, looking for some natural. I need some natural shit.
Yeah,
be happening real soon. Also, before we wrap up, man, positive is the Hand is over with. Thank God. I mean, we gotta.
It's a shame, dude, because it sounds like it's such a cool street level villain because it's just this massive amount of people to fight. They're supposed to be dangerous and they're everywhere.
Mm-hmm. Okay,
but,
so I mean, who thinks will be next?
Well, I haven't finished it, so I would just have to go randomly. I'm trying to think, who do they normally deal with?
I think they should be dealing with the lawyers over there at Fox, so you can get the X-Men in there.
Oh man,
it's gonna be. They already got the suits. Bro, we just get the lawyers in there. That'd be an uphill battle, man. Shit,
it's gonna be. I think a lot of it's gonna depend on the situation between Marvel TV and Marvel movies, because I know there's kind of like a split. Mm-hmm. So the way, because it's so weird. It started off, it's all the same universe, but now it's kind of like sort of the same universe and not exactly the same.
Like you talk about the ABC TV show, the Netflix universe,
and the cinematic universe. Like there's a split between TV and movie, and it's
more
kind
of a
like
connection with the Netflix in the movie than like the movie in the ABC.
Yeah, well, I'm sorry. When I say TV, I mean Netflix, but like Netflix and movies are initially were, because they talk about the Hulk, Battles for New York, were initially like kind of part and parcel with each other. But because of like kind of some bad blood between the two factions, it's kind of like they're a little strained, so it's not as strong of a connection. So I don't know who, like I doubt they would block each other, but I don't know who would have the rights to use what group for like another. Well,
Marvel is known for finding its way in the beds of bad business, because there again, because Disney's now moving over. They're trying to do their own thing by 2019.
Yeah, that's
and I don't know how that's gonna fare.
I mean, I think it'll do well because you throw Frozen movies on there. Parents will buy that for their kids all day.
Their network would do good. But people have found it home in watching Daredevil and shows like it on Netflix.
Yeah, I think you're right about that.
So it's like,
I could see those taking a hit.
I'm not trying to pilfer through a whole bunch of Pixar movies and. All that shit.
But see, here's how they get you, because you'll say that, and then like your wife will be like, "Well, I like Pixar movies."
I mean, I'm gonna watch them. I don't want to just go through a whole list of Disney movies and Pixar movies so I could land on Iron Fist 2. Like, I don't want to.
Yeah. Well, I feel like I do wonder for people who don't have families, who aren't huge into Disney, if that'll cause a drop off, because If people if they move shows over to Disney's own streaming service, some people are going to just be like, I don't really want to go through all that. I'll just not watch it. Especially people who aren't hardcore comic fans. And we were kind of talking, a few days ago, whether or not the bubble's already weakened. We can get another week, but whether or not the bubble's ready to burst soon anyway, that could just be another push in that direction.
You talk about the whole thing about the comic book format in general?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because, at a certain point, because people like it, but again, outside of we're super into this, but for people who are only casually, they're not going to go that far out of their way to watch it. Like, okay, I'm not getting a new subscription just for Daredevil. I'm not
going to get a new subscription just for Daredevil, Iron Fist. It didn't capture me the first time. It ain't going to definitely capture me the next.
Right.
I mean, so we'll see. I don't know, and we're definitely gonna get into that because I mean that's a good question. I mean,
Yeah.
I think I do believe that it's hitting ahead.
Yeah,
It's starting to get exhausting a
Right.
little bit,
Yeah.
you know. But we'll talk about that next time for sure. Maybe I think no, as a matter of fact, yeah, on the board. You gotta embrace a lot of that shit. But on the board, we'll put that up there. We'll talk about that along with our anime.
Mm-hmm.
If you haven't seen it, guys, go check it out. Check out the Defenders.
Yeah. Definitely check it out. At the
take
very
my word
least,
for
be
it.
abreast of what's going on. You know, that way you're always up to date with the goings on. And you know, the people watch it to give it a chance that second season can always improve. I mean, there's no reason why it necessarily couldn't.
I mean, it's always good to be going there like is Iron Fist going to be good this time? I mean, there's nothing wrong.
Right.
It's going to be really, really sweet. But I don't know. I mean, I don't know. I mean, the guy who plays Danny Rand. I mean, I don't know if he's a phenomenal actor or nothing like. I mean, I don't know too much about the guy. But I mean, from what I'm seeing, it could be the writers.
Yeah, it does seem like because again, I remember reading.
What do you do? I remember
they were saying that when they shot Iron Fist. I mean, they were like learning the moves like half an hour before shoot. Like they were whatever happened, they were not. Production was not prepared. So
I mean, and I knew about Iron Fist having production issues anyway because they didn't know what direction to take it because of the budget and the mystical sense behind him. It's easier to shoot everybody with power, you know, with strength powers that you can just show from time to time.
Yeah.
But when you got this glowing hand guy, I mean, I think they messed up with Iron Fist is that the guy that they showed the previous Iron Fist in Iron Fist.
Yeah.
With the two hands, was doing all the sweet moves and jiu-jitsu. I was like, shit.
I want to watch his show.
Where's he at? Like he seems to be, you know. Also in the comic section, real quick, I did want to talk touch base just real quick, maybe 2 minutes. There's supposed to be a standalone Joker movie.
Oh yeah. What do you think about that? Because to me, and again, this circles are kind of around to what we want to talk about next week with the demise. But I mean, that's too much.
Yeah.
For one, because a lot of comic book fans aren't going to like that because one thing that's about the Joker's mystique is the fact that he doesn't really have an origin. Like the Killing Joke came out, and that's kind of pseudo officially his origin. But even then, even in the story, he's kind of like, I don't know, I could be lying. Like I don't half remember. So it's kind of that adds to who the Joker is. If they try to give him a definitive, my name was Carl Winslow and I fell into this vat of acid, you know, like
it was one day, one lonely night. I have filled out my application to be a henchman for the Penguin, and after careful review,
and you know, like the temptation is going to be there to do that kind of thing, right? To load it up with like references. He's going to be at the Iceberg Lounge, and like it's just going to be, you know, I don't know. I'll have to see. I'll like wait and see approach.
I was having a beer with a good buddy of mine who at the time I didn't know who really didn't care about me. He said, let's go play around a vat of acid. I said, sure, why not? It was a dare, if you will.
I got to leave my friend Edward alone. Mr. Nigma, I'll see you later. You're like, all right, okay. All right, Joker, we get it, man.
Credits roll 8.5.
I mean, so it's going to be, you think it'll be Jared Leto if they do that?
I believe they might. I hope not. I just, they need to be Jack Nicholson. Yeah. That's what it needs to be.
80-year-old Joker orange.
Shit, man. Let's get Michael Keaton. That McDonald's movie is over with. He can come out. He should be free.
And that would be because it'd be interesting because you mentioned that it would be like separate from the DC.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
But it could be a return to form in a sense to how well the Tim Burton Batman movies were.
Yeah.
I mean, it could be like, damn, why isn't it? It could be that good to where you'd be like, why isn't this in the DCE?
Right. But to
or
me,
it could be terrible.
that
becomes, thank God it's not.
That to me that becomes a whole other issue though, because if it's that good and you already have a Joker, now you got people being like, well, why don't you replace that? It's just, to me, it seems like there's more questions, more headache right now without much information than it seems to be benefit because it becomes enemy because the whole thing that people, you know, and I'm sure suits are really afraid of are people getting confused with characters. That's why they have embargoes and you can't use certain characters in certain cartoons even if you're still the same company. You're literally going to have people say, I just saw the Joker in Suicide Squad. Why is this guy different? And you got to sit there and be like, well, no, this is a different Joker story. Is Batman in this or not? I don't like it's more confusing than helpful.
In Baltimore, Maryland is where I got my start. And then I decided to move out to Gotham. I said, Gotham.
Baltimore, Maryland.
I was a diehard Ravens fan before I became a criminal. As you can see, I wear that purple.
Oh, man.
And I wear it proudly.
I'm not looking forward to that.
But no, I think DC needs to stop just saying we're about to do and really get some shit done. I want to see Shazam.
Yeah.
Done. You know, y'all been talking about for years, 3-4 years now, how The Rock is about to be Black Adam.
Yeah, yeah.
And he's not in the new Shazam movie. That's dumb shit.
It is.
Let's cut the malarkey, guys. I love you, DC, but come on, man. You guys got to get better than that. Let's get back to this Green Lantern thing.
Yeah. Like, I think that's a movie that could really, done well, it could do really well.
And it's supposed to be coming out, but I mean, as I'm, eating my popcorn with, extra butter on it, I look up and I'm seeing about this stupid ass, Joker movie.
Yeah.
It's like, what? No, I want pictures of who you're casting for Green Lantern now.
Yeah.
I don't want
that in just like that scenario you painted reeks of like corporate oversight being like, well, Joker's a known quantity, so we're gonna bet on him. But
I'm getting tired of that. Let's rob let's rock that Batman cradle.
Yeah.
You got more. There's I don't know.
And the thing is, for the most, I mean, you can do a good character about pretty much anybody, right? Like, like Wildcat, like a good question movie or a good movie about, like, I'm trying to think, Plastic Man. Like, you could make some of these work if you have a good writer and, good director. Like, it doesn't have to be Batman or from the Batman family.
No, it does not. Let's not. DC, email us.
Yeah.
Hey, look, I can help you write an amazing story.
Yeah, if you need to, like, hey, guys,
talk to me.
We don't know what to make a movie about.
Yeah.
All right, I got you.
Yeah. I heard these guys from this place called the Ramen Room. They seem to be up to snuff.
I know.
I think I want to give them a call.
I know Warner Brothers executives listen to the show regularly, so just pick up the phone, y'all. Y'all know to reach us.
Y'all know what it is. But man, that's our show.
Yeah,
I think that's our show. Is that our show?
Yeah, that's our show.
Okay, I guess that's our show. Listen, guys, next week, like I said, we're going to talk about anime. Yes, we are in full comics.
Yep.
And we'll throw in a couple game things, but it's gonna be a couple though, because it's really gonna be about comics.
Yeah, we got the comics and anime time.
Yeah. So without further ado, I'd like to thank everybody for taking the time out of their day, or their lunch break, or their actual break, or their call off day to listen to us. I look forward to hearing from you guys at theramaroom@gmail.com, or you can find us on Facebook, The Rama Room, and Twitter, The Rama Room. We see you guys next week. Randall, take us out of here.
All right, peace out, guys.
Peace.